7187 on behalf of Ms. Wilson.
Your name, ma'am?
Elizabeth Wilson.
All right.
This hearing opens with a deceptively simple setup, but don't let that fool you. What you're about to watch is a classic courtroom collision between legal procedure and human expectation. At the center of this case is Elizabeth Wilson, a defendant who believes she resolved her criminal exposure cheaply, quickly, and cleanly. But what she didn't fully understand is how restitution works once a no-contest plea enters the picture. Judge Simpson immediately signals control, structure, and limits, especially when defense counsel attempts to withdraw at one of the worst possible procedural moments, the middle of sentencing. That alone sets the tone. Restitution hearings aren't side notes. They are legally inseparable from sentencing, and the court treats them as such. This case also introduces a remote victim, a disputed damage estimate, and a defendant who feels blindsided by financial consequences she claims were never explained. But here's the real tension. Once a plea is entered, especially no contest, the factual record becomes locked in for restitution purposes. The defendant believes fairness means proof beyond doubt. The court operates under statutory obligation. That gap between expectation and law is where this entire exchange explodes. Watch closely how Judge Simpson balances patience, authority, and immovable legal boundaries, because this hearing becomes less about guilt and more about consequences.
Date and time that the court had set for a restitution hearing at the request of the defense. I also have a motion to withdraw, which seems rather weird to me. So, wherever you'd like to start.
Your Honor, just in terms of the motion with withdraw, I did submit that request in advance, hoping that we would have the opportunity to be heard on that prior to today's hearing, not to cause any prejudice to my client. I am here, Your Honor, for today. I think it's the most efficient use of my time that I'm going to stay on with Ms. Wilson for purpose of the restitution hearing, since I'm already here.
Well, just so that we're very clear, and the reason the court did not sign the order is because the restitution hearing, particularly at your request, is part of sentencing. And I would not permit counsel to withdraw in the midst of sentencing. It just would not happen. So it's good that I don't have to deny the motion, but I wasn't signing it. But all right. So it's withdrawn. What are we doing with regard to the restitution? In my understanding, the victim is here via Zoom.
She is here, Your Honor. I wasn't sure. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, that's what I think I was informed of that. Ma'am, are you here?
Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah, okay, there you are. Okay. Thank you very much. All right, What are we doing?
Your Honor, has the court also received the estimate that was provided by Michelle Miller reference from Great Lakes Collision Frame for the repairs?
The one that is 2029.08.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yeah, I do that.
So, Your Honor, we could proceed to the hearing. I'm not sure if defense counsel, now that Ms. Miller is here, is willing to stipulate the restitution amount, or if we do need to have a hearing.
We're here for the hearing, Your Honor.
Your Honor, will the court allow Ms. Miller to testify via Zoom?
That is how she's appearing. So yes, I
Ms.
will.
Miller, are you able to testify right now, or are you busy with something else?
I'm working.
Okay. Is there a point, Ms. Miller, that you're going to have a break or a point where you can answer?
In about an hour and a half. In about an hour and a half. In about an hour and a half, I'll be done with this head, and I'll have this client under the dryer.
This exchange may sound mundane, but it highlights a modern courtroom reality. Justice now operates alongside real-life constraints. The victim appearing via Zoom while working underscores how restitution cases often involve everyday people, not corporations, whose lives continue while legal processes unfold. Judge Simpson shows flexibility without sacrificing procedure. He pauses the hearing because testimony is required, not optional. That's important. Restitution isn't guesswork. It must be supported by evidence, estimates, or testimony. However, notice the tension building with defense counsel. The court's patience is procedural, not personal. When counsel implies inconvenience, Judge Simpson shuts that down immediately. Court schedules aren't suggestions, and participation isn't conditional on comfort. This is where authority matters. The judge ensures the victim's participation while keeping the case moving. It's a reminder that courts balance efficiency with necessity, but they never abandon structure. Would you expect the court to delay indefinitely for convenience, or is this exactly how fairness is maintained?
Got it. And then you'll be able to take some time and testify?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what I'm gonna do, says about an hour and a half. What is it?
Oh, one.
1:30. All right, because their testimony is needed.
Can we have just a moment to confer with defense counsel to see if that's gonna work?
Yeah, Your Honor, I didn't block off a whole day for.
Well, counsel, you're in this case, whether you blocked off a whole day or not, is irrelevant to me.
I'm in this case because you wouldn't sign a consent order for me.
Because it's inappropriate.
On your
It is inappropriate to ask to withdraw in the midst of sentencing.
It's not.
And
in
you
the
have
sentencing.
no authority. Do not interrupt me. You have no authority to show that that is appropriate.
Well, I
So
showed that it's
it will
inappropriate to keep
be
it to one-
denied. Don't do that, counsel, because you don't want to go there with me. Not today.
Judge, I am being respectful.
Versus Elizabeth Wilson.
Right here.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Actually, Lonnie calls for people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michael Kelly, P77187. On behalf of Ms. Wilson, who's present, standing to my right.
Elizabeth Wilson.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, at this time, I believe my client is prepared to stipulate to pay the restitution.
Your Honor, do I have to pay the full amount?
I'm sorry, go ahead. Well, hang on a second. All right, here's what I'm gonna do, and then I'll answer your question. Okay. I'll order restitution in the amount of $3,029.08. Okay.
This is the emotional pivot point of the hearing. Elizabeth Wilson hears the number and immediately questions the obligation itself. Her response reveals a common misconception that restitution requires the same level of proof as a trial, but Judge Simpson is operating under a different legal framework. Once a no-contest plea is entered, the court accepts the facts in the police report for sentencing purposes. That means restitution flows from the plea, not from relitigating evidence. Wilson's frustration is understandable on a human level. She believes she didn't cause the damage, but legally, that ship sailed with the plea. Her argument about vehicle type, timing, and lack of inspection would have mattered at trial. Here, they don't. This is where many defendants feel blindsided. They see restitution as optional or negotiable when, in reality, it's statutory. The judge listens, but he does not bend. Ask yourself, should courts reopen factual disputes after a plea just because the financial consequence feels unfair? Or does finality protect the system?
And then my next, when you say, do you have to pay the whole amount? What are you asking me, ma'am?
Well, I've been advised that this is not a trial, and I need to get my paperwork, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Due to the fact that I'm the only person that was there, she was driving a Cadillac. She wasn't driving the vehicle that has been stated in the police report. Also, she did not wait for the officer to show up so the officer could look at her vehicle. Anything could have happened to her vehicle from the time that she left Wendy's and from the time she got home. And then I didn't receive a phone call from the officer till 4 or 5 hours later, stating the fact that that this had happened. And all she had to do was send pictures over. And that justified the fact that I hit her car when I didn't. I would have stayed if I hit her car. It's what car insurance is for.
Hold on a second, ma'am.
Mhm.
Okay, can we? Go ahead.
Sitting on the drive-through, there's just no way I could have done that kind of damage. You're sitting still. It would have affected.
Ma'am, let me just stop you. And I know you got something you want to tell me. But there was, but I read it. There was a no contest plea to these charges.
Right.
And now you're disputing them?
I took that because I was not informed that I had to pay restitution. I took that because that was the cheapest way out.
So, okay. Go ahead.
That's okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Is there anything else? I mean,
There's no proof of anything, and it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. I mean, the officer wouldn't look at my vehicle. I offered to bring it in, like I've been cooperative.
right. Well, but understand that the only thing that I'm going to know when I'm looking at this, because it was a no contest plea, is what's contained in the report. And as part of a no contest plea, I accept what's in the report is true in terms of making a finding. Now, where you got the information that restitution may not happen, I don't know, and I'm not getting into that. I will just say that when something like this happens, the issue of restitution, a lot of it is statutory, it just occurs. Okay. So going back to your initial question of the payment of the restitution. Now, how can you pay that? Let me ask you that first.
I can't. I don't have a job. But, it's the law. I've always followed the law, never been in trouble with the law. So, I mean, I just thought maybe you would take in consideration the fact that there's no proof. I mean, she just sends pictures over.
Okay. So here's the thing that you have to understand about this. And that's why I keep going back to the no contest plea. Once you enter that plea, then Miss Miller basically becomes a crime victim. And pursuant to the statutes, then she's entitled to restitution. That's a simplified version. Okay. So in essence, she's entitled to be made whole.
Judge Simpson distills restitution law into one powerful phrase, entitled to be made whole. This isn't punishment, it's restoration. Once the defendant entered a no contest plea, the victim became legally recognized as a crime victim under statute. That status triggers mandatory restitution. The judge makes something very clear here. His hands are tied. He cannot waive restitution, reduce it arbitrarily, or ignore it based on hardship alone. His discretion exists only in how it's paid, not whether it's owed. This moment often frustrates defendants because it feels impersonal, but that impersonality is intentional. It ensures consistency across cases. The court separates sympathy from authority. Judge Simpson even explains that while he works with people, restitution is one area where flexibility is minimal to non-existent. This reinforces a hard truth. Pleas resolve criminal exposure, not financial responsibility. Do you think defendants truly understand this when entering pleas, or is this where the system needs clearer communication?
Yeah. In terms of restitution, and now that it's been stipulated to, I don't know that there's much the court could do. It really becomes an issue of how it gets paid. And it's also so that you know, because I know you've been in the courtroom with other cases, I'll try to work with people, but I have less flexibility with the issue of restitution. In fact, in a lot of ways, I have none. I can set it up so that it's paid over time, certainly, but I can't waive any part of it. My hands are tied in that respect.
So I needed to go to court and prove all that stuff in order to avoid paying this then, right? That's what I needed to have done. Going to trial.
Ma'am, I can't answer that.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm not getting any answers, so I'm coming to you.
So, because there are so many, the reason I can't answer it is because there are so many reasons why somebody may not go to trial or goes to trial. There are a whole lot of different considerations that play into that. So if it were a simple yes or no, and I had an opinion about it, then I'd tell you, but I can't, in all honesty, say that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you for listening.
Not a problem. So in regard to the restitution, do you know how you're gonna get that paid or how you're gonna pay it?
I'll figure it out.
Okay, so, but I got you. But I need to sort of put something on it to say how you're going to do it.
It's $50 a month, according to my probation right now.
Pardon?
$50 a month.
$50 a month is what your payment plan is to us.
Yes.
Your Honor, that's for the fines and costs.
Fines and costs. All right, why don't we do it this way? Because you say you're not working right
No, I have a job, but I just applied for it and it takes another month to see if I get it. So
now. Got it. Okay. So, Ms. Blair, why don't we do this? Have you made any of the $50 payments yet?
yes, I've already made 125.
That was on
Another
the
50.
date of sentencing, right?
Right.
Okay. And then, so then your next payment was going to be the 50.
Right. I'll make that today when I leave.
Okay. Are you making that in cash?
No.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's set. You have her review is February 24th of 2027. All right. So here's what I want. The $50, so you'll need to pay it in cash, right?
Like come in here and actually pay
And
it.
actually pay it.
Okay.
The reason I'm going to do, you have to do that is because I'm going to have what you can pay in terms of the $50 go to the restitution.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But I can't do, if you were going to pay it on a card, I can't do it that way.
Okay.
Okay. So it's got to be cash that you come in and pay.
Okay.
All right.
Now we see the court shift from legal theory to practical enforcement. Judge Simpson structures a payment plan that ensures restitution actually reaches the victim. By requiring cash payments directly to the court, the judge removes ambiguity and ensures accountability. This isn't about punishment, it's about control and traceability. The judge carefully balances the defendant's employment uncertainty with the victim's right to compensation. The $50 monthly payment isn't arbitrary, it's structured within probation oversight. Notice how the judge explains every step. He ensures understanding, confirms prior payments, and clarifies how funds are applied. This is judicial precision at work. The defendant may feel constrained, but the court is ensuring compliance while preventing default. This segment shows how courts operationalize restitution, slowly, methodically, and with documentation. Would a less structured approach actually help defendants, or does structure protect everyone involved?
So I realize you set up a payment plan. She's now got this balance. It's going to be $50 per month until probation tells you otherwise. If you get employed, then it might be something else.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
And you just have to pay that in cash. It's to go to the restitution and then be paid over so that balance can go down. Make some sense to you?
Yes.
All right. And then we'll do it that way. So I've ordered it. It's payable through the court in accordance with what I've said and at the direction of probation.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
And Your Honor, lastly, I just want to make sure that my appearance is being removed as attorney of record from this point forward.
File an order requesting that you be removed this attorney of record as one would do at the conclusion of a certain point, and the court will sign it. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is that?
It's 12 o'clock. Technically, it's only 10 cases.
Why is Paige looking at me that way?
10 cases.
She's ready to go.
They're all show causes.
They're all show causes.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I want
let's
to
just,
roll.
let's just do it. Court does.
This case concludes not with drama, but with legal finality. Judge Simpson orders restitution, sets a payment structure, and closes the door on further dispute, not out of indifference, but because the law demands closure. Elizabeth Wilson's frustration reflects a widespread misunderstanding of no contest pleas. They avoid trial, but they do not avoid consequences. The judge remains firm yet professional, emphasizing statutory obligation over emotion. The broader lesson here is simple but critical. Pleas resolve criminal liability, not financial accountability. Restitution exists to restore victims, not to punish defendants, and courts are bound to enforce it regardless of hardship. Judge Simpson demonstrates restraint, clarity, and authority throughout, ensuring fairness within legal limits. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.